Hey everybody, 3KO Games here. How are you doing? Woke up this morning and saw that there was a balance update now live in Empires and Puzzles. Just reading through this for the first time, so let's do that together. Looks like it affects a whole lot of heroes, a whole lot of families, and mostly the latest, most fashionable, desirable families. Astral Dwarves, the Woodland Fawns, the Slimes, all of your Insanity heroes, foxes, garrison guards, moths, sun and moon family, okay. Nightmares and defenders of Atlantis, and then, looks like heroes of the month. But is Nidus kind of a new, that's a new slime hero, right? Anyway, tapping in, let's read all about it. Theoretically, when this opens. Okay. Wow. My internet is slow, or their website is slow. Okay. 53 heroes affected. Exception cases, no buffs. Hey. Thank you. Rosalind, Sludgus, Fergus. Certainly the three of them do not need any buffs. Kolya also probably doesn't need any buffs. Pretty strong. Okay. And here's a list of heroes of the month. Texted down here. Stat boosts for Abigail. Stat increase. I'm not going to read all these numbers. We have a moderate, I won't say modest, a moderate stat increase for Abigail, and a little bit of bleed damage increase from the Zulu minion. And Vari, a very modest stat increase, and really corrosive burn damage increased by 1. Let's talk about that at the end. Okay. Araminta, very modest stat increase. I guess health is almost by 100, though. Atwood a little bit more, so I think Atwood's a little bit older, and those stats getting a little bit higher. Bramble, pretty new hero, and those stat increases are very modest. Kalen's been around for a little while, so you're seeing a little bit bigger stat increase. This is the theme here. Charmini, health increased by 2. Am I doing the math right? That's just 2. Okay, yeah, I can count. Chunky Roy, stuff increased barely at all. Dagger barely increased at all. And another corrosive burn damage increased by 1. Huh. Dima. Yay, I've got Charmini. I've got Dima. Yay. A little bit of stat increased, and bleed damage increased by 6 over 3 turns. So that's 2 per turn. Woo! Dolores, more moderate increase there. Delar Fuller, barely at all. I think the theme is, like, based on how old these heroes are, they're getting almost nothing, or, a moderate chunk. Frank Fang's just a little bit older. Frost Snout, very new. Fungustine, older, but not a sizable increase there in stats. Gander, another person that gets barely any corrosive burn damage increased. Gideon, small. Gouldren, slightly more moderate, especially in health. Gurik, not too much at all. Grovert, just 3 increased on defense. Wow. Hunter, an older Insanity hero, gets a huge health increase. Yocantha's been around for a little bit. Isidore, barely at all. Megwin, I don't even remember what Megwin does. Melancholia, that is a sizable increase there, especially in health, almost 200. Mordowitch, yay, I've got Mordowitch. Barely anything at all, very new. Muktus, good sizable HP increase. Omen, another sizable HP increase. Ott, another barely at all corrosive burn damage. Peregrine, been around for a little bit, especially in health, getting an okay increase there. Pip, ooh, bleed damage over 3 turns improved by 9. Well, Quarry, water damage increased by 12 over 4 turns. Roshan getting a bigger boost, been around for a little while. Regin staying pretty much the same and getting barely at all a corrosive burn. Oh my gosh, this is going on forever. You're getting the theme, right? Satin Pimenter, barely anything at all. Shadowfang, a good sizable chunk in health. Bleed damage by almost nothing on Shimmer Scale. Teeny increase in Silverpaw. Slimgo, a little bit more. Spiff, sizable in the health anyway. Swiftpaw, over 100 in health. Tamlin, almost 100 in health. Theodosius, just a little bit here. Vanya doesn't really need anything. Vard, look at all this. It just keeps going and going and going and going. I'm just not going to read everything because it's just a little bit. Okay. Costume bonus increases. Sun and Moon families. Okay, so Season 5, if you have their costumes, it was a plus 17, plus 17, plus 26, plus 5% costume bonus on attack, defense, health, and mana generation. And that is, for attack and defense, that's almost double the bonus. 32, 32, 35, and 5. Same for Atlantis families. It was 13, 13, 18, 5, and it's now 19, 19, 23, and 5. Okay. So there's some Hero of the Month buffs, but first, I have to assume that this is all an attempt by Small Giant to think more heavily about the power creep that's happening in the game. They came out and said, hey, we're going to work on that. And the first step that we saw was that team power for some new heroes stayed the same for, a week, instead of going up by 1 every day, every hero, every 2-3 days. That's one way to combat the power creep. Even a new hero having a team power that is down by 1 or 2 or 5 would be okay if their special skills are interesting enough. They'll still be desirable, and then we don't always have to be chasing this. But holding back on the stat increase on new heroes can only be part of the issue if you really want other heroes to stay relevant. But with this big long list, it's clear who they want to stay relevant, and it's the most popular heroes in the game. We're not giving a stat increase to keep the balance of the game or fix the balance of the game for all of the older heroes you've loved to play with and you would love to make relevant again, right? We're talking about a lot of super desirable, oh my gosh, I can't even go past this. We're talking about the Slimes and the Fawns and the Astral Dwarves, a lot of these heroes that, unless you are a big spender, maybe you have one of these in your, in each family, if you're lucky, right? They're great heroes. So, they're going all in on the latest heroes that are making the most money, to bring their stats up to like present level for whoever is released next. I guess that, it's not the worst. Again, it would still be great to have some of the older heroes buffed in a meaningful way, not in a way that, oh, you have to earn their costume, basically, pull a brand new hero anyway. But just say, hey, this hero, it's a fun special skill. You don't have to bring him all the way up to current levels, but close. So you think, oh, with a limit break and some emblems, they might last in a war defense, or not even a war defense, but like in a war offense. So that's where we are on the stat increases. We're also getting some buffs here for February Heroes of the Month. That's kind of the theme every month. And it's always like damage increased by 30. Is that what's going on? Yeah. Zaleen damage increased by 30. Kunshin defense ailment increase by 1 turn. A little burn increase for Jean-Francois. Uraeus, a little more direct damage. A little more direct damage from Iris, Vizelis, and Gladius. Okay. And then we have this bug fix for Nidus, where Mythic bosses, Titans, and Mythic Titans are now unaffected by paralysis. Yeah, that should be how it goes, I think. Apparently they were. Whoops. Congratulations, those of you who had Nidus, at least for a minute there. And now back to normal. Well, anyway, that's just a quick video, as quick as I could be as we were scrolling through this list, thinking about this balance update for February 2025. I would love to hear what you think about this or anything else in the game down below. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. I appreciate your support, and we'll talk to you next time.